This is the Cochise County Board of Supervisors Flood Control District Work Session. So we are changing our hats from the Board of Supervisors to the Board of the Flood Control District. This is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 at approximately 2:14. Board of Supervisors Hearing Room, 1415 Melody Lane, Building G, Bisbee, Arizona, 85603. Pursuant to ARS 38431.02H, the public will have physical access to the meeting place 15 minutes prior to the start of the meeting. Any item on this agenda is open for discussion and possible action. Roll call. Tom Crosby from District 1 is here, and I don't believe that our other two participants are here, but I'll check anyway. District 2, are you with us? District 3, are you with us? Okay, so we only have 1 out of 3 of our Board of Supervisors participants here today. Members of the public may also attend this meeting via Microsoft Teams, computer or mobile app, or via phone by calling 602-609-7513 or 888-680-6714. Conference ID 604-678-03. Pound. If you have trouble accessing this meeting remotely, call 520-432-9200 for direction. Work sessions are a time for county staff to inform and discuss agenda items with the Board of Supervisors, and public comment will not be taken. And we have, once again, Jackie Watkins, our Director of the Flood Control District. And would you care to address the board, Ms. Watkins?
Thank you. So these are the updates on the projects, and most of our engineering projects, they take 1 to 2 years to design. That's just the process of designing projects. We're still working on the Leslie Can project. And working with ADWR, Arizona Department of Water Resources, they have jurisdiction because the existing pond is actually a regulatory dam. And for the inlet and outlet on that, the county in-house, we will design the structures in the crossing at Vista del Cerro and Santa Paula. And the estimated construction cost is $3.5 million, and it'll probably be another 3 to 6 months just working through ADWR's process and the requirements that they have, that every time we take a review to them, they add something else. So it's a learning process for one government agency to work with another government. And then Bay Acres, we are doing this project to reduce the flooding through the Colonial. We are at 60% design, and we anticipate right away to be about $1 million, in construction $8 million, and we should have that project designed and completed next calendar year with the NEPA clearance. In Coyote Wash, we have 90% design plans completed on that, with an estimated construction cost of $5 million. We have a REPI grant from Fort Huachuca for $1.5 million for the construction. Flood Control District has $500,000, and we're applying for grants. We applied for the Arizona Water Grant. That tomorrow there's another hearing on that grant. So we hope by this summer we'll know if we have funding to complete that project. And if not, then we will continue to go after other grants for the construction of that project. So the Coyote Wash is over by Sierra Vista on the west side of Mosen Road.
Where is this small map? What's that depiction of? What part?
That is the diversion channel we have a diversion structure in the channel to take the 2-year flow water from the channel over into the old gravel pit there. And then it will stay in the gravel pit and slowly be metered out to help get more water to recharge into the aquifer.
Okay. So where is it compared to Buffalo Soldier and 92, for instance?
It's south of Charleston Road, north of Highway 90 on the west side of Mosen. It's close to the Sierra Vista's wastewater plant. It's north of the wastewater plant.
Okay, thank you.
And then our Upper San Pedro projects. Riverstone, they're analyzing now the phase 2 site investigation that was done. And we do have a REPI grant on that for $900,000, and that's being controlled by the city of Sierra Vista, because this, the Riverstone project, city of Sierra Vista will take some of their effluent and pipe it down to that to discharge into a detention pond there.
Treated effluent.
Treated effluent, correct. Yes, it is treated effluent.
That's good.
Yes. In Horseshoe Draw, we did repair the inlet, and so we're designing the fix on the outlet and have that repaired this fall. The Bisbee effluent, treated effluent. The DCR will be completed this summer, and we're in the process of locating, talking to people about where to discharge that next to the river by the border, and we'll be using ACUB funds from Fort Huachuca for the funding of that project. Any question?
No.
In watershed studies, and we're still going to do one on Pomerine Road. We hope to get the scope done this summer, and for actually, we hope this winter to get this project going. So it's not 2025, it would be 2024. The Wilcox Basin, we applied for a grant about this time last year for a BRIT grant, which is the Building Resilient Infrastructure Communities grant. We have not heard. I've talked to other flood control districts, and they've applied for grants too, and no one's heard. We keep asking, and federal government has not released any of those grants. And then the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, we do have a grant with them for the planning assistance to states to do a high-level watershed study on Rucker Canyon, which is in Elfrida, where it was flooded in 2022. And then the Corps started talking to the city of Douglas and to the county about doing some type of alternative solutions to the Bay Acres, where we're doing one of our projects. So they want to do, so the Corps is finding places around the country where they can either relocate homes or do some type of recharge projects upstream. The first set of the study would be done at their cost. Any additionals would be a shared cost. So after the first part of the study's done, they would tell us what the cost would, and we'd bring that back to the board to see if we're even interested in doing it. But they did offer, so we did accept their offer on that.
I have a question. You talked about flooding, I think, in the Elfrida area around 2022, in this Rucker Canyon watershed. Where is that compared to the intersection of 191 and Davis? Where was the flood?
It's north.
Okay. And which side of 191?
So Rucker Canyon crosses 191 in Elfrida, and Rucker Canyon actually flows underneath Davis Road in Whitewater Draw.
Okay. It's a long way south.
It's a long watershed, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And then last summer, or September of last year, there was a scenario planning workshop that was done for the Sulphur Springs Valley, the Douglas Basin, and the Wilcox Basin. And out of that scenario planning workshop that both Supervisor Judd and Supervisor English were at, and out of that is the Sulphur Springs Water Alliance, which is an organization that wants to try to model itself somewhat after the Upper San Pedro, but in this location it's to recharge, to get recharged, to help with flooding, watershed restoration, and recharge for the aquifer for the Sulphur Springs Valley, just because of the groundwater issues there. So there is a draft MOU. We're running it through the attorneys now, our county's attorneys, and so it would be an MOU with City of Douglas, City of Wilcox, and Cochise County, just as a group to help study and try to get fundings, and the natural resource conservation districts in Douglas and in Wilcox. So that's in the process. Then I think the Fort Huachuca Cooperative Agreement needs to be renewed in August, and that agreement is where we get a lot of our fundings for our watersheds projects that we have in the San Pedro Valley. We're still updating our traffic management procedures and our road standards. and analyzing what our permit fees are, flood control districts, and our right-of-way. And we will bring that to the board this fall once we analyze what time it's actually taken us for the permits to analyze it, to make sure that, you know, we don't want to overcharge anybody, but we also want to at least recapture 50% of what the time is that we take on permits.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would you care to elaborate on neighborhood traffic management procedures?
So that project is traffic management, putting in speed humps or speed tables. So that is, if the neighborhood wants those projects, they put them in, or we construct it, but we do the studies and then they pay the cost for the construction. So the last one we did was north of Benson, but Equestrian has them in some of the roads over there. There's some in Naco, but it's something that's driven by the residents. It's not that we go out and look for this.
Okay. What if people want to take them out?
There's a process to take them out, just like we put them in. We can take them out, but all the residents would have to, or percentage of the residents would have to agree to want them to take
Okay.
out.
Yeah. Do you remember how big of an area we're talking about? For instance, Yaqui, the Yaqui area, where some people, we like our speed bumps, so we got too many speed bumps. So
Yeah, then we take a percentage of the, well, we take the road from, at least from intersection to intersection, you know, you want the whole segment of the road. And we would do speed studies to tell people how much they, you know, what the speed traffic is and what the adjacent traffic is with speed studies. Then the residents within typically we've done 300 to 500 feet radius from the road, then the residents would vote on it.
I see. Thank you. That concludes my questions.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all that attended today. The next meeting will be on Wednesday, May 15th in the Board of Supervisors hearing room for a work session regarding county funding requests, expenses, and revenue for fiscal year 24-25. Thank you for your diligence, Ms. Gilman. This meeting is adjourned.